How has your mindset changed? How have you evolved to where you are today?
There was really not much training for teachers. There was not much dance science back then. It was very directive type teaching, sometimes not always the best for the students.
So we're talking about mindfulness and mental health benefits. My ballet teacher, Miss Wiccan, she had a cane. Would that be right?
Yes, I think there was that sort of...
How do you cope, say, with auditions? So how would you prepare yourself, not just physically, how do you prepare your mind?
Yeah. Some people can be incredible performers, but then you just get so anxious in the audition room that you don't audition well. Prepared and you've done your best, you just have to try and emotionally detach from the outcome.
We're here at the National Theatre in St Kilda, and I'm joined by Jane and Amy Keane. Jane, tell us a little bit about yourself, please.
I'm the Associate Director at the National Ballet School, which is a wonderful job. I get to share my passion with the students and pass on all the knowledge that I have gained in my career, and also continuing to develop my education and passion through all the new things that we discover.
Forever evolving, I would imagine. And Amy?
So I am a professional performer. I specialise mainly in musical theatre, but I do a little bit of everything. I graduated from Patrick School of the Arts, and now I'm working professionally in the industry.
Amy, can you share a little bit about, as a professional performer?
Yeah.
That would be a pretty nerve-wracking job, I would imagine. How do you cope, say, with auditions? So how would you prepare yourself, not just physically?
Yes.
I mean, we've seen you dance. You're both the most beautiful dancers and in amazing physical form, but how do you prepare your mind?
Yeah. Okay. Well, auditions is a really hard one, because often, like, the process of auditioning versus the process of performing, some people can be incredible performers, but then you just get so anxious in the audition room that you don't audition well. For me, I find the brief usually will come out like a month or two in advance. And when that comes out, first thing I'll do is have a look at it and be like, what parts of this do I need to make sure I'm really up to scratch on before I go into the room? Because I think to feel confident in the room, you want to feel prepared.
Yeah.
So you have a look and you think, okay, is there a certain style vocally or physically that is very particular to this show? What do I need to train up to make sure I'm feeling confident in that style? And then, like, if there's a certain skill that you know is going to be required of you, making sure you feel really comfortable. If you feel confident and comfortable, you're going to walk in and feel so much better. The part that I find the trickiest but is very important about auditions is, once you've prepared and you've done your best, you just have to try and emotionally detach from the outcome, because the outcome isn't about you.
Of course.
It's so much about the show and the people. And that's the hardest part for me, because obviously, especially the further along you get, you do get emotionally invested and you think, oh my gosh, like, this will be like the one, I could be in this one. And then sometimes sometimes it's not about you. So you prepare, you do your best, and then you just try and be like, you know what, if it's meant to be, it'll be. And that's, mindset wise, that's what I try and do.
It's a great attitude. That's so good.
It is. It's the hardest part, though, for
sure. And is that something that's evolved over time that you fine-tuned?
Yeah.
Also, I'm just wondering, so that sort of preparation leading up to an audition, which is really fantastic advice. But what about just before? Are there any little tricks that, like breathing exercises? Is there anything that you would have learned, say, in a yoga class that you would use in an audition setting?
I do have a really good breathing exercise. In my full-time course, actually, we did like a breathwork course.
Yeah.
And so it's, you put one hand on one nostril, you breathe in for 4, then you switch and you breathe out through the other nostril for 4. And it's like some...
So in yoga, breathing. That's called Nadi Shodhana. Yeah, it's alternate nostril breathing.
Yeah.
And so, but in yoga, we use just one hand. And the idea is that you're balancing the left and the right sides of the brain. So finding that even ratio of breath. Yeah. So I love that you know it.
I do that.
That's a really good one.
I do that one before I go into like singing, because I mean, in dancing, if you're feeling a little bit nervous, you can cover it really well. When you have to go into a vocal call, it is very important to get your nerves under control.
And grounding.
Yeah, your nervous system is so involved in your breathing and in how you're going to sound. So it is very important to be able to regulate that before you go in. My brain sometimes will be like, and you just have to tell yourself, you're fine, you're prepared. Shush, 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 and just like go in and let it happen. But yeah, it is definitely important to get that nervous system regulated before a vocal call, because otherwise it can make things like your breathing affected when you're in the room.
You can hear it when somebody's nervous, even, you know, if they're speaking or if they're performing, you can hear it and you sort of think, oh, you don't want them to be nervous. I guess that's the other thing, isn't it? The people that are auditioning you, they want you to be fantastic.
Yeah, no, they're on your side.
They're on your side.
It's a really good thing to flip in your head, knowing that like they do not want you to fail. They want you to be the person they're going to cast, because that makes their job super easy.
Tick.
So it's like they're on your side. They want it to be you. So you just have to kind of go in and think of it as, I'm just doing my thing, but just in front of 10 people that I haven't met before. And it's just the same.
Fantastic. Today, I really just wanted to ask you about your self-care practices. So we'll start with you, Jane. What do you do for self-care?
Well, firstly, self-care I value greatly, and I also share that with all my students to look after themselves. So for me, self-care is about movement, like looking after your body in the way of movement. So that would be in the sense of a class, yoga, Pilates, walking, being outside, all of that. And enjoying the beautiful world that we live in, but also in sleep, that they value their sleep and rest, and that they also eat well, good fresh foods, all of that as part of looking after their general health.
So how do you approach the nutrition? Like, is that something that is actually part of your syllabus, let's say, or is that just is that your own personal interest?
With that side of it, I'm fortunate enough to deliver a unit in anatomy and nutrition for the students.
Wow.
So that is part of their course. And we also do somatic studies as well, which are sort of and conditioning, which covers a little bit of yoga, Pilates, meditation, breathing techniques, things like that, which is also, it's a part of a holistic way of working, because you have to look after yourself before you can have a positive influence on other people. And also you've got to look after yourself before you can reach the heights in the art form, classical ballet or contemporary dance. Some of them are working in those two areas.
How has your mindset changed? How have you evolved to where you are today?
I suppose past teaching, there was really not much training for teachers. So teachers taught sort of how they were trained. There was really no support. And so therefore they didn't really know how to teach in different ways. There was not much dance science back then, and it was very directive type teaching, and, you know, sometimes not always the best for the students in today's world. It's more holistic. We have training, or teachers have got access to training. We've got a lot of science-based information coming through to us through companies like institutions like iAdams. And we're just, there's a lot more support, and we are more aware of all of the tools to use so that the students can develop in all ways.
So we're talking about mindfulness and mental health benefits. I think back to when I was a wee lass, and I can still remember my ballet teacher, Miss Wicken. She was mean. She was honestly really, really mean. I swear, I think she had a cane. I think, would that be right?
Yes, I think there was that sort of approach.
I don't think she was.
I mean, I've had my fair share of
you, yes, and it's quite threatening, isn't it? Even if then it's not in a, like poking at you with, it can be quite threatening for a child, that sort of approach.
My experience of it was that I felt like I was never good enough. So I loved it. I always really enjoyed the arts, but definitely with ballet, it felt so disciplined and structured, and I just would leave feeling deflated. But back then, they wouldn't have been thinking of the mental health of the students as much as you are today.
That's right. And I think also too is that we try and empower students, that they value their strengths, but they also understand their weaknesses, and they have strategies around to develop those, that they don't feel, well, that's it, that's all I am. No, that you can evolve. We create a growth mindset in learning. So even if they don't aspire to have a career in classical ballet or contemporary dance, those skills that they learn in the classroom can then be transmitted into whatever they choose in their career to be.
The dedication, the focus, all of those elements, the discipline. And that's what I see when you come into my yoga class.
Well, thank you.
And Amy, what advice would you give for a young person wanting to be just like yourself and have a career in the performing arts?
I think what's super important in our industry, because obviously like dancing and singing, there's a lot of technical aspect and you can really get like bogged down in the perfectionism of it all. And that's something that like constantly I do struggle with, wanting to make everything perfect and feeling that feeling that it can never be what you want it to be. But I always have to remind myself, and I think it's a really important mindset to have, that we're a performing art form. And sometimes actually the most beautiful part of your performance is like the parts that aren't perfect and the parts that show the human part of the dancer and the human part of the performance. That's the parts that actually get at the audience, and making sure that your passion and your individuality shines through in the performance. I think that's something that I constantly remind myself, that's actually why we do it. It doesn't have to be like, maybe if that line wasn't the way I wanted it to be, but it might have had some real essence to it and some real feeling. So it's like, it's always a balancing act of the two. You want to have that really strong technical training, but also making sure you don't forget the why, and like the whole reason is to make people in the audience feel something and to connect. So knowing that what you have to offer is enough, because often you can feel like with auditioning, and it's a personal preference a lot of the time, so you can feel like you're not enough, but your uniqueness and what you have to offer is enough. You're just waiting for the right way to show it and the right time for it to be there. But
so much of it's timing, isn't it?
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful, Amy.
Yeah.
So good. And there is only one Amy. I just love the fact that you two share this passion together. I just think how wonderful. Just watching you dance together, it's just so special. That must just be, imagine, Jane, if you had a daughter, imagine if she had a daughter that didn't like dancing.
She made a decision at the end of primary school that, this is really what she wanted to do. And I was like, okay.
I would take your phone and I would book in all the dance comps. I'd be like, Mum, where's the credit card? We're booking in all the solos.
And I couldn't be more proud of Amy.
Aww.
Her work ethic, and it's her passion. It's not mine. It's her journey. And when she's doing things, I just more of a parent. If she's in class, then, I offer guidance like I would for any other student.
You know when to step back.
Yeah. So you've just got to really have that clear goal. And, I'm so happy that she's happy in following her passion.
Brilliant. Love it. So wonderful. You two are the dynamic duo.
Oh, that's so cute.
Okay, now we're going to have to cheers with our Mind Glow.
Yes.
So you ladies have been drinking your Mind Glow?
Yeah.
I like it because it's got flavour, you see, and I don't like water so much. So this is going to help me.
That's good. Yeah, we're going to get your fluids up, Jane.
Cheers. It's lovely. It tastes so good in just the water.
Yeah, it's
I
good.
thought
did you try it with a smoothie or something?
Well, yeah, I tried it with a smoothie first, because like I have had other protein powders before and you kind of have to have it in a smoothie. But this one actually tastes good in just water. So I love
that's
that.
The idea.
You can,
absolutely. Yeah.
Because sometimes can't be bothered to make a smoothie. So it's quick and easy. It's good.
Yeah, it's lovely. It's beautiful. So I'm going to be able to put this in my water bottle now.
Yes, you can. You'll be so hydrated, Jane. One more cheers.
Cheers.